It's all gamified. Brands are looking for it. Why is it create more engagement for them? 5.8 million users with a wallet, which makes us one of the largest decentralized virtual world and application within Web3. Over 800 partners, Warner Music, Snoop Dogg, Ubisoft, Atari. It's hard to say we're a gaming platform. I would say we're an experience platform. 98% of users who enter an experience will go through the end to completing all the quests to earn the rewards, 20 to 40 minutes. That really is the average time that people spend. Those are metrics that we've never seen anywhere else on other platforms in terms of engagement.
How did you choose the timing to launch the DAO? Hi, this is Violetta Chekan, or simply VC. Indeed, I am a venture capitalist. I have 12 years of experience in startups and early stage investing. This is season 2 of Web2+1 with VC show, and each episode we have interviews with top leaders in blockchain and crypto space. If you like this type of content, please check out our partner, Epic Web3 podcast. They bring in founders of the leading Web3 protocols and products to discuss the future of blockchain. And today we have Sebastien Borget, who is a co-founder and chief operational officer of the Sandbox, so decentralized virtual world. So we will talk about this a lot, and also some announcements, which is super exciting. And we also have a little bit of a small game that I prepared in this season. So I don't know if it will be visible from this, but yeah. So it's like some interesting, fun questions. So Sebastian, thank you so much for joining this podcast.
My pleasure.
I would love to actually start with like your work, because I think it's incredible. So we've been like right now, like it's like the third day of the conference. Even today, it's still like ongoing, and I see that you are traveling so much and you are like everywhere. How do you do this? So who is like Sebastian as a co-founder of the Sandbox?
Well, I'm a 39 years old person, like father, 2 kids, 6 and 9 already. And well, I don't know, I run this as a serial entrepreneur for 16 years now. Obviously, I'm not alone. There's a whole team behind that supports me. My co-founder and business and CEO, Arthur Madrid, has been with me, and like we are very complementary. I got the chance that indeed like the Sandbox success is indeed global, and we have the opportunity to reach out to new countries, new regions of the world, to empower them with like becoming a creator, what the Sandbox and the Metaverse in general has to offer, and be invited to speak at various conferences to represent not only the Sandbox but also the Blockchain Game Alliance on the other side, to like educate more about what is Web3 in general, what is possible in Metaverse, what we are doing, our latest progress, share some of our like major announcement like we did 2 days ago, and like show also what people, project, community are launching in the Metaverse. Because at the end of the day, we're a platform that empower their imagination, that let them do great things, that behind engage their community. How I do it, I don't know. Like it's a matter of, I guess, like training, resistance, resilience, and like being really passion. I mean, I totally love what I'm doing. I never feel tired. People will wonder like how am I jet lag? I don't know. I guess like I train myself to not have need a lot of sleep. So, and I'm inspired by other people who do it as well. So like when I see Yatsu, I feel like, well, if he can do it and he's 10 years old more than me, like I can do it. There's nothing else that I cannot accomplish, right?
How many hours do you sleep?
It depends. Well, I don't want to, like, it could be as short as 2 hours a day to like 6 on average.
Okay, interesting. How many trips do you do per year?
I think I travel more than 200 days a year now.
Oh, wow, amazing. Congratulations with such success as well. So tell a little bit more, like what is a Sandbox and where is the disruption lies?
So, well, Sandbox, as you said, is a decentralized virtual world. There's really this idea that anyone can become a creator making 3D content using voxels, sort of digital Legos, and use a no-code game creator called Game Maker to, like, just by drag and drop, make their own experience or games without a single line of code. And those games, actually, well, there's experience that because they bring more than gaming. They come from like a world of culture with fashion, sport, entertainment, music, etc. They can be published on a virtual land where other users with avatar, that 3D characters that represent their digital identity, can enter, explore, access, socialize, make friends, and so on. And what's unique about Sandbox is we're using blockchain and NFT technology to truly empower the creator through digital freedom and true ownership. The content they create is truly theirs. They can own it, sell it, transfer it to other users, even use it outside of Sandbox. And we've grown today to 5.8 million users with a wallet, which makes us one of the largest decentralized virtual world and application within Web3. We've grown to have more than 1,000 experiences made by game creator published on our virtual world map. So that's also quite a lot of content to explore, spend time with. And over 800 partners around the world, top tier brands like Warner Music, Snoop Dogg, Steve Aoki, and Ubisoft, Atari, and many others that are present on the platform and have launched experiences already.
And you mentioned digital identity and user-generated content. How is it important? Why is it important? And how is it like you see it's evolving in a way of the metaverse and the future of the metaverse?
So for me, there's no future of gaming, there's no future of the metaverse without user-generated content. It's really the core and the key. I think every top grossing game will have a massive component that's based on user-generated content. And that's because that new generation of users doesn't want just to consume passively content. They want to actively be engaged, make their own character, make their own level, make their own modes and change the rules of the gameplay even. And that's what's going to drive the ultimate form of engagement and retention for those platforms, make those turn games into platforms that can live on forever, not just 1-2 years, but 10, 20, 30 years. Think about Minecraft, think about GTA 5. Those games are very popular today, even if they are completely evolved and people are not playing them anymore for what they were initially, but for what the community has built. What's lacking essentially is the community can be very involved into providing the content, hence driving the players, driving the retention, driving the monetization. But the community has been very unfairly treated toward the sharing of the value that's being created and brought up. Because now, until today, most of the revenue goes to the platform, to the developer, and not really to the players and the creator who make those success. Think about Minecraft. It sold for $2 billion to Microsoft. It's a success that's been made by the players themselves. What did the player get out of it? I don't think they earn any revenue from it. In Roblox or Fortnite, it's also very limited how much the creators can receive. So we use blockchain and NFT to have much more fair distribution for the creator economy and make sure in UGC, we can drive that next generation of creators so they can make their next job and even start new businesses, become entrepreneurs, have their teams and so on, and earn a fair revenue from it. And it's starting in Sandbox, the first creator that earned a six-figure happened this year, while other creators start to earn 4 to 5 figures in SAND, the utility token of our platform, which is a top 10 gaming token and a top 100 cryptocurrency as well, and it's being used for creators to sell their content on the marketplace as NFTs, that they can earn it that players can earn it as they play across different games, or they can use to buy lands, to buy content for the creator and so on.
How do you think the digital storytelling is evolving? How brands and creators can use Sandbox to build their own narrative? Can you maybe give even examples?
Well, I think Sandbox is a perfect platform for letting your creativity flow, and it's so accessible, and it allows you really to expand your digital presence, to expand your brand and your universe in a virtual world, in a 3D setting, and where creators will use official content, official NFT to make their own stories, their own game, their own adventures onto that platform. So co-creation is an important aspect. The fact that any creator without complex, they don't need to learn a single line of code. They don't need to be engineer and have a background in programming to start making games. So by lowering the barrier to entry to content creation, anyone who is fan from a brand, of a character, of a celebrity, of a music artist can start expressing their fandom, expressing their belonging to the community by making very simple game and stories with it. We encourage it with game jams, video game competition, time limited with prize. The winner earns land, earns sand, and get featured on the official land of the top brand. And it's really fun to see, like, we all want to do that. When I think about it, when I'm a fan of something, either I will draw and I make my own character and story around it, almost like inventing my little comic book, or we'll play with toys. Since we are kids, we take our favorite Transformer robot and our favorite Marvel superhero, and then we put them in a setting, in a city, we make them fight, and so on. So we make our stories so naturally. All of that, it was impossible to bring in a digital world until recently. Now, like platform like Sandbox really embrace and allow people to make these kind of creative things. And brands are looking for it. Why? Is because it creates more engagement for them. It's really opened them to co-creation, which is a very positive value. They encourage their community to express their creativity. And also themselves, they can launch on their land an experience that will engage user, usually for 20 to 40 minutes, to discover in a 3D environment about their storytelling, about their brand, about their value. And it's not boring. Like, they make people like go talk to character, complete quest, achieve mission, fight, go through platforming for treasure hunt, through multiplayer gameplay. So it's all gamified, so the players complete those quests and earn rewards at the end. So it's also very engaging and drive actually loyalty and reward as well. And if you compare that versus, I don't know, like those brands spending on like traditional media or social media, the attention span that they can capture from their audience is so short. Like, they get a maximum a few seconds to a minute of attention from users who consume on social media, and the interaction that those users can have are so limited. At best, they can like, they can share, they can comment. That's it. So video gaming and the metaverse is for me like the great way to engage the audience for the brands, to enable to tell their own stories in a very creative and immersive way, but also to encourage their community to participate into that build-up.
Can you share some use case and also like maybe engagement? You're talking about engagement metrics. Do you maybe remember like how long the brand like could capture like the attention of the user? This would be amazing to know a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we've seen. Whether it's in fashion and luxury, we had Gucci, we had Lacoste, Charles & Keith. We had an experience with McDonald's for the 25th anniversary of the McNugget, chicken McNugget. We had Warner Music, which launched several music artist lands, Snoop Dogg, Steve Aoki. So hundreds of brands have already launched in Sandbox. So everything I described, it's not conceptual. It's been 2 years that people can see for themselves, can play in Sandbox. And they've been engaging their audience and community either with digital reward or physical reward. We've seen, I don't know, I'm taking one of the most popular experiences during season 3 was Avenged Sevenfold, which is like a metal band, rock band group from the US, and they had close to 500,000 players who engaged. 98% of them completed the quest. They immerse themselves in the creative world inspired by their album. For the first time, players can play in the world of their favorite music artist, a world that normally just one image on the album cover. So how it's really powerful for a band to share and to connect so closely with the fan. People were able to visit the virtual house of Snoop Dogg and see some of his art and his compound. People were able to jump from platform to platform in Steve Aoki mansion as well, where he's recording with his studio. Very creative thing that, well, as a fan of something you don't usually get access to. It's a very privileged experience, so few people in the world can do that for many reasons, obviously. And we try to publish those use cases. So on our website, if you look at success stories, you can find dozens of stories with all those various brands in different verticals on how they leverage Sandbox creatively. They drove more attention. I was referring to 20 to 40 minutes. That's really the average time that people spend. 98% of users who enter an experience will go through the end to completing all the quests to earn the rewards. Those are metrics that we've never seen anywhere else on other platforms in terms of engagement. And it proved that the structure of the reward, the leaderboards, the fact that, well, users feel like their time is actually being valued. They are not just being advertised onto, but like there is a real exchange of value. is different and valued by the brands.
You know, like when I'm talking about with different people, they are saying, "Oh, but Metaverse is just it's just for gamers." Who are your target audience really? Is it just really gamers, or it's like what is your target right now?
Right now, if you look at the overall just Sandbox, it's very global first. Like over the last 12 months, 30% of the audience now comes from Asia, like Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, India, 30% from Europe, 18% from the US. The average age group is like 18 to 45. So Sandbox is not targeting kids like Roblox. Like we're a very adult audience who has like a strong purchase power as well. And not necessarily hardcore gamer like console shooting AAA kind of games, but more casual players, people who might be playing sporadically on their phones or not gamer at all. Like the strength of Sandbox is actually we leverage gaming mechanics, completing quests, ranking in the leaderboard and so on, but we're bringing experiences that are like from a whole world of culture. And like we bring those brands from fashion, from art, we bring museums to Sandbox, we bring music artists, and they create something new that's never been seen on other platforms. So it's hard to say we're a gaming platform. I would say we're an experience platform that brings a lot of gaming mechanics. We're attracting new audiences, people who are not gamers. We're attracting new creators, people who never made video games before. And that's important because that's defined like at the very core of Sandbox audience. They are creative people, passion, fans of various communities. They own a wallet so they can have digital assets and grow their digital wealth as they engage and grow with the platform. And they come with such diverse and global backgrounds. They are not being formatted to a certain form of entertainment, like on the App Store with free-to-play and ads-based or in-app purchase, or like Roblox-only kind of game and so on. So that means like we can see new trends emerge and new forms of entertainment being invented because we have new audiences there.
Very cool. And you have very strong also community, right? So maybe you just elaborate a little bit on the major announcement right now.
So you're right, like community is at the core of everything, specifically in Web3 and in Sandbox. And since the inception of Sandbox, we incorporated blockchain and NFT technology because we really wanted to provide like digital freedom to our players and creators. We wanted to empower them to truly own their creation, their avatar, their digital identity. We wanted also to decentralize the economy of the platform by launching the SAND token, like the key token of our platform, which is a top 10 gaming cryptocurrency. And 2 days ago, we announced the launch of the Sandbox DAO. DAO standing for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It's basically a standalone foundation with its own budget of 25 million SAND token per year that will be where users, players, creators who own SAND and land can use to vote on the various proposals that are available. We call them the SIP, Sandbox Improvement Proposal, to influence and even to drive the future of the platform. They can also submit their own proposals and get them voted upon by the community. So those proposals can be around like the future development of the platform, like the roadmap, like the reward that we're going to distribute to our various event and season or game jam and contest, like the player status depending on how many land they own, SAND they own, NFTs they have, the gameplay we should prioritize or build features upon and so on, and ultimately like how we wish, and also things that not relate to the Sandbox core product and platform itself, but also like the various initiatives that, for example, like some communities or project might want to launch to, I don't know, grow education about the Metaverse, grow the impact of playing the Metaverse by giving out to certain charities. For example, we have right now 5 SIPs available. The 3 first one are about the constitution, the budget, and the council team. So basically, like a lot of administrative support to approve of like the way the DAO will work and the foundation will work. But then we already have one SIP about like giving to the Red Cross an amount through like an experience in the Metaverse. This is the second time we will be working with Red Cross. And one about acquiring carbon credits to compensate like from the activities of the players and like all the blockchain transaction toward like replanting forests and growing sustainability forest as well to make an impact in the real world.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. So lots of impacts.
Well, I think it's important that when you look at it, it's a progressive decentralization. We've been running Sandbox already for 4 years, and we show that some of our core value is really about like being truly an inclusive community, global, that we care, like we call it Metaverse for good. So the action of the players, what we build, the experience, they need to have a bigger meaning than just being virtual experience. We want the action of players to drive an impact in the real world. We want to educate to our new opportunity and to like financial literacy concept related to true digital ownership. So those are very important. And yes, impact, sustainability, environment, education, inclusion, and all the projects and community that we supported before, mainly driven by the management, myself initiative, now will be in the end of the community. So we hope that we show them a certain cap, we show them the way, that they will continue embracing that way, because that's how we started that and grew up that community.
Sounds exciting.
Very exciting, you know, providing like a true autonomy to those players and creators. Even thinking that well, the sandbox should exist forever in the future, become like this timeless virtual world that even if we, as a core team that built it initially, are no longer involved, or if somehow like the council that was elected, which is really composed right now of 5 members. You have Yatsu, the chairman of Animoca Brand. You have Shannon Snow, the CEO of World of Women, a leading Web3 community for women, by women. And you have like Jean-Michel Payon, the ex-executive of Ledger and founder of Great Capital, very versed in art and Web3, and the serial entrepreneur Frédéric Montagnon, and myself. If somehow we don't deliver on like the ensuring the proper governance and running of that DAO, but we could be fired. Like the committee could vote, like we should not reapply for next year, or someone else can propose, I want to replace them and do a better job, and so on. So that's really a true democracy. But the true democracy also requires work. Like it's not because we give the power for people to vote and make decisions that they will do so. So we have to keep educating, to keep engaging, and making people go to exercise that vote. Just like in the real world, like we are very lucky to live in democratic country in Europe, countries in Europe and certain part of the world, but there's less and less interest from that young generation to express their voting right. And we might end up no longer being in democracies if we keep on giving up on that right.
Can you a little bit elaborate how the voting works? So I'm actually the owner of SAND, of course. So how is it like, how can I be involved as a normal user? How can you also make your own proposal? So can you just like a little bit technical things, but I think it's what is also interesting for all the community to know.
Absolutely. Well, it's very unique in the way you're going to vote on the Sandbox DAO, and a little bit different from other DAOs. Like if you're a SAND owner, one SAND is equal to 1 vote. If you're a landowner, 1 land is equal to 4,500 votes. Why is that? It's because in Sandbox, you have the SAND as a utility token, but you also have land, like that digital piece of real estate where the experiences are being published, and that as a landowner, you're contributing to build the metaverse, to publish experience, the place where people are playing. With about 27,000 unique landowners, and on average, they own 1 to 2 lands, while we counted roughly 250,000 unique SAND holders outside of the exchanges, which on average own 10,000 SAND. So to hopefully create one of the most democratic way and balanced way of voting, and it's one of the main challenges actually in DAOs. Like we don't want to have one small group of people controlling the majority of the vote and then driving the decision toward their own self-interest versus of the greater good of the community. We design the mechanics where like landowners have as much importance as SAND holders.
And what projects do you think will pop up like in the near future? So the next month is...
I'm really excited to see what's coming up. We have a few, I think there's a dozen SIPs already in drafting that we're reviewing as a council, and together also with the 7 advisors of the DAO, which come with different backgrounds from music, education, sport. We'll see proposal around initiative toward education, initiative toward like deploying the way that we're going to allocate certain lands of reserve that we kept, and certain NFTs that are owned by the sandbox now will be moved to the foundation and then can be used by the foundation to drive new users, to build up, and so on. I'm sure that we'll see very surprising things, like unexpected even, but you know, like at the end of the day, our role is to ensure that those proposals are really written following a clear template, provide a clear vision of what values they provide, how they will be executed, which budget they request, and how they ensure the delivery of what they provide. And our role is to make sure like those milestones are properly accomplished, so we can trigger different payments from the foundation, which has like 25 million SAND as a budget. So we are not here to say yes or no, that the committee will really decide if they want to see those come to life, or like they want them to be amended, reworked, to be maybe realistic.
And what about you personally? What would you want to see one of the like top project? What would you?
I'd love to see like a certain initiative around like education, again, like deploying first maybe a real world school that will teach Metaverse, maybe supporting more and more real world charities that will be publishing experiences on Sandbox to educate about their mission, to educate about like the positive impact, social impact that Metaverse can drive. I hope we can see artists come up and bring to life their world on Sandbox. We probably going to see like also like the community tell to our team like what sort of gameplay they want us to develop first. Do they prefer to make the avatar fly or to double jump? How they want the transportation system work between the different lands beyond walking from one land to another, and so on.
What about the timing? So how did you, like, as me, obviously want to know also like from the entrepreneurial perspective, right? So I'm investing right in startups, and I always like fascinating with the journey of like being an entrepreneur. How did you choose the timing for like to launch the DAO? So is it was like with the community, or like we've been waiting for some milestones? Is it like also like related more to the the market cycles? So can you give maybe also insights for like some entrepreneurs who are having this also idea in mind to launch their own DAO?
Well, absolutely. We wanted to first like have a very progressive decentralization. When we first published a white paper about Sandbox and Sand token, we envisioned like 5 years toward like decentralization. So we are year 4 on time. And we wanted to make sure it's not too early, so we have like the right maturity for the platform in terms of like the product and technology that can be used to create, to monetize your experience. The fact that we have now 1,000 experiences live on the platform, we have close to 6 million users with a wallet, so the community is big enough, engaged enough, there's enough content to explore. So the DAO has already a lot of substance the platform has a lot of substance, and the DAO can evolve on top of it. So in a way, our team has set the cap, the direction for the ship to sail, and hopefully like people have already seen what the platform is capable of before like they make their own proposal. So in a way, it's like we inspired and grew up a certain form of I wouldn't say not governance, but way we're envisioning that new digital nation to build up and develop. And we hope that the community that will go on will share kind of the same value and be able to continue in perpetuity that vision and add to that vision, rather than start from scratch, have no product to build upon and spend fund and budget maybe with less capability to make an impact, less capability to actually deliver concretely, and so on.
You mentioned digital nation, and that's for me is kind of like, well, how do you envision like the metaverse evolving in the next let's say 1-2 years, maybe 3 years?
I think 1 to 2 years might probably much of the same, with just like better iteration on the product, the user experience, and so on. Like you really have to look at more of like 10 years ahead, like how a new technology can like profoundly impact the use case of people. Like smartphone is roughly 10 years now of iteration. The first version of smartphone didn't came with Touch ID, Face ID, the easy way to make payments, all the seamless integration and so on that we are enjoying today. Maybe in 10 years, as we'll be spending more time into those virtual world, we're socializing, make friends, play game, maybe do commerce, buy products, work as well. Educate ourselves. Now, like we've gone trained, like accustomed to vote, to participate, to make our voice matter, and understand that we have a stake of ownership into those worlds, like you do have with your SAND token. It will become a habit, it will become natural, and we can inspire more worlds, more even centralized platforms like Fortnite or Roblox for the future to open themselves to the governance of their community as well.
And what is the Sandbox role will be in this? And you're like, I know your vision, of course, but can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on your plans, like what we should expect from the Sandbox in the next years, or maybe even like shorter, maybe this year as well? That would be wonderful to know.
So right now, Sandbox is still in the alpha stage. We launch all the different products. We keep updating them. One of our most immediate milestones this year will be to move Sandbox to beta with major product update on the content creation, the game maker, Rocksteady, the marketplace, our map. Next year to go to mobile, because right now it's only available PC and Mac, which we understand has been also a limiting factor for the growth and adoption of Metaverse. So we hope that once we have the mobile, maybe 1 year or 2 years after, it keep improving, it will become a tipping point for the future growth of Sandbox. I think that this is the first phase of the DAO as well, so there will be a lot of learnings and takes away. We always hope for the best, are prepared for the worst, and we'll probably fall somewhere in between. There will be some drama, some situations, some amazing surprises. It's something probably never seen or done ever before at this scale and on the centralized virtual world. So let's see really how this it's much more than a giant experimentation, but it will set the future of like the governance for any future world.
And is there like any plans with augmented reality? Like, you know, like there is always like once you're talking about metaverse, people talk about augmented reality, which will be like the first in place, not just like virtual world. Do you have any ideas with that, with the Sandbox?
Well, the way we see the metaverse and Sandbox is like it has to be accessible for multiple platforms, not just one like VR headset like Meta propose, or not just mobile. Like right now, Sandbox on PC and Mac. We're looking at mobile next year. I think like we might not develop ourselves something like in AR or VR, but because the assets of Sandbox are actually interoperable, meaning like they can be used across the standard format in other applications and games. We already have external games and platforms, social media platforms. I'm thinking like OVR, Flickplay, Jadu, and a few other, like where the avatars, the game asset, etc., can be represented and used and play with in other applications like mobile AR, for example. So maybe someone will come, will build a new mobile AR game using the asset of Sandbox. They will promote it on the DAO, and if the community wants to see that, they can vote in favor.
All right, so before wrapping up, so I prepared some questions.
All right.
So, so here is by the way, here is like blockchain. It's like a small, it's all design. So I will just like mix this. Okay, so I will give you to pull out, and will be, so it's 54 cards, 52 questions.
I have to do 52 questions?
No, you don't need to. We will just pull out like a couple. Right. Yeah, so. Some of them are very fun, some of them are very personal, so the plans, so we just like have entertainment, and there is also 2 jokers, so I went like with, you know, like the playing cards like you have, So with a joke, you will have like a little bit of surprise.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right, so here.
All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, it's what's the strangest Wi-Fi name you ever encountered or used? Oh. I usually don't really connect to. Okay, there's one thing in crypto that's so important is like security, right? It's like the custody of your asset, the security of the network you use. So I tend to never connect to public Wi-Fi. I have to be very careful about that. There's so many cases of fortunate people losing their digital asset because of that. So it's probably been 6-7 years I don't really connect to public Wi-Fi. It's quite.
So you would not recall. So is it like the general advice to anyone who is like entering the crypto space? Do not connect with public Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's one of the recommended security guidelines, indeed.
Yeah.
All right, can I pass? Or,
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's no worries. Yeah, we can just go for like a next one. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this again then. All right.
Let's keep rolling. Yes.
Yeah. Like, okay.
All right. Next one. Like who is your partner for crossing the Sahara? Aha. So there's a few things, a few ways to think about that one. So do I look at like someone I can really rely across for like survival and trekking skills, or do I look at what imaginary character? I would say if I were to travel alone, I would probably just always have in my mind like the Little Prince, the book, the character from the book, and can be the driver in innovation. If not, it will be my wife, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. All right, so let's do this again. So let's have some fun also questions.
All right. You find a bunch of old PC game and classic console game. Which one do you play first?
Oh, that is a cool, because like you're from the gaming industry, so cool. Of course you like. So which one?
Well, yeah. I'm a big fan of classic games. Probably will jump on. It depends really on generation, like how far I go back to. Let's say like I would enjoy a good Tetris or Super Mario on Game Boy or something like that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, if we want to go even older, like I would go for Space Invader. Why not? Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. You know, like I also installed very recently like the original Super Mario, like original one. I was actually looking for like the console to buy with the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
For now, I can, if you know where I can buy this, yeah, like recommend please. Yeah. So it's one of the really.
I don't know if like flea markets have so. Like I started with like probably the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World was my first game.
Yeah. I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
I don't recall already. And that it was like one of the coolest games. All right, so last question. So let's do like last one.
What's your most used emoji? Well, like it now, like if I check my social media, I guess like the blue heart. Okay. And blue is like the typical Sandbox color. So like, and the Sandbox we want to give a lot of love. We share a lot of things. So like blue earth has become like one of our like very recognizable emoji. And if not, like in crypto, in Web3, we always say like GM, good morning. And GM comes with like the waving hand, basically.
Yeah, cool.
And then when I play in Sandbox, my first emote, people can see my voxel avatar and they see me waving like this. So it's always that emoji.
Cool, yeah. Awesome. So what would you advise to entrepreneurs in the space, how to stay updated with this crazy market? It's so many things happening. How do you stay updated, and what tips you can pass?
Well, I'm someone who like really learn and understand through experience. So like just reading news and like spreading news and rumors. I don't think it's a great way, specifically in the current market, a lot of information and disinformation. I would say like the best way is like to get as much hands-on as possible on the thing you see and the topic you're interested in, to be curious. So if you're interested in the metaverse, go there, create an avatar for free, go explore, see the possibilities. If you're interested in blockchain, the first thing I did in 2017 to try to understand Bitcoin the protocol and etc. was like, understand and set up my own miner. So I start to see how it works and so on. Buy your first NFT, create your wallet for the first time. That's how you really start to dig. If it's even something like, when I think about it, like how we onboard people to blockchain and Web3 is in a few ways. Like we give free NFTs or free SAND regularly at Sandbox. I launched my own social token called SEB, SEB, and I use it. It has no utility, no roadmap. I just give it for free with people I meet. They can claim it using with just one link. It creates a wallet for that. I found it was a great way to onboard people just to own a token for the first time for most of them, and for them to start playing around, understanding how it works and so on. The first, right now, like every time we actually interview a candidate, and we've done that for 5 years, we ask them to open a wallet for the first time. We send them some crypto for free, ETH, SAND, and we ask them to play a few blockchain games to buy their own NFT. So really very experiential. Like you cannot talk or be in a space if you really don't manipulate the concept. You cannot be in Web3 if you do not own an NFT. Like how legitimate you are to understand why would I buy that, how it was designed, why it's valuable, and so on. So that would be my number one recommendation.
And what, in your opinion, drives the adoption now?
I think like adoption is a combination of two things. One is like community and attention, and two is like utility. I think like at Sandbox, like you understand very quickly what you can do with the NFTs you have. You can play with them and an avatar. You can explore world. You can build and monetize your experience that you build. That's something that we're past that moment. It was maybe 2 or 3 years ago that you could actually launch a project, launch a token, and have no utility or utility that comes much later because like the project has to be built. Today, like the audience to be onboarded, they don't have the patience anymore to wait 2 years again for something to come up. So I would really strongly recommend those two parts, and to ship, and even ship before you launch the token or something.
Awesome. So we need to experiment a lot and drive into mass adoption. I hope that we have much more people coming in the space because it's super exciting. And thank you so much for your time and listen to you. Amazing congratulations with Sandbox DAO. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the metaverse, and also like you can use your SAND now to start voting in favor or not of like those proposals.
Yeah. I would like to ask you also to follow the Sandbox and also check out their latest developments. So the links are below, and also please subscribe to this channel and put the like if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching.